course, the natural Randy Couture, the multi-champion MMA legend, I would say. Tonight, huge night for mixed martial arts. You're here at the IFL as opposed to the UFC, where we're used to seeing you. What's going on? What brings you down to Mohegan Sun?
Yeah, I'd like to be at the UFC supporting Vanderlei in his efforts to train at Extreme Couture for his fight leading up to his fight with Chuck Liddell. I've got two of my fighters fighting here tonight, Jay Duran and Chris Odecki, so we're supporting them and supporting them, and obviously there in Vegas in spirit with Vanderlei and his camp as he gets ready to fight Chuck Liddell.
Okay, your last fight was against Gabriel Gonzaga. What were your feelings on? You said he would be a more dangerous opponent than Mirko Prokop would have been.
Yeah, Mirko's obviously a very, very proficient striker, and I think outside of that he hasn't really put together a lot of other skills in MMA yet. And so the fact that Gabriel is not only a very good stand-up fighter, as he showed against Mirko, he's also a very good submission guy. He competed in the Abu Dhabi Championships and several other places. So just by taking him out of the striking realm doesn't mean you're out of the woods with him. So it makes him a more formidable opponent and a tougher guy to deal with.
After you have left the UFC, Dana made some kind of off-the-wall comments about how he didn't even he wasn't even interested in bringing Fedor in, and that he was just trying to do the fight for you, and that he's not even a top 5 fighter. What were your thoughts on that? Do you expect comments like that from him?
Yeah, I think everybody expects comments like that from Dana, and I think that his tune would have been much different had he signed Fedor. And they were pursuing Fedor very hard long before I ever expressed that being my only interest in my next fight. So I don't know that there's any truth to any of that, but it doesn't really matter. It has nothing to do with me. As a fighter and a heavyweight sitting here, I want to fight the top heavyweights in the world, and Fedor is by most people's estimation the top heavyweight in the world. So that's who I should fight.
Okay, the UFC offered you a fight with Nogueira. Some fans thought maybe that it was something of a disrespect to Nogueira, that you only wanted to fight Fedor. But
if people took it as a disrespect to Nogueira, then that's probably them listening to Dana. That's certainly not my opinion. I think Nogueira is a great fighter. But again, I have to take my own career and my own position into consideration. And Fedor beat Nogueira. So it makes sense to me that it should, rather than fighting Nogueira, I should be fighting Fedor, and that's who they should. The UFC should bring to the table and make that fight happen as their heavyweight champion. They won't let me do that, so I've got to go out and find a way without breaching my contract to make that fight happen myself. And I mean, absolutely no disrespect to Nogueira. I've appreciated his style and watched him fight over the years from the KOK tournaments on through. I think he's a great fighter and certainly one of the top heavyweights. Again, I got to stay focused and do what's best for my career, and that's to fight for the world.
M1 recently made an offer to the UFC for a fight to make you versus Fedor happen. Did you expect their response to?
Yeah, I expected the UFC to turn that offer down. I think they have a lot of pride and egocentric point of view, that they think they don't want to share that with anybody. They would want to do a co-promotion and somehow lend any credibility to M1 for their ability to go and sign Fedor. So I fully expected that they would turn that down. And again, it just puts me in a position where I've got to wait my contract out and make the fight happen myself outside of the UFC, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you for your time. Could you give a statement to maybe the fans want to know what's next with you and everything like that?
Well, I've got a couple more movie projects coming up this spring that I'm very excited about. One is Mandrake the Magician, which is kind of a 007 meets Harry Houdini. It's going to be filmed in China, so it'll be very interesting. I've got a 2-hour pilot, a military-style show on Spike. It'll be coming out this next spring as well. So excited about those opportunities, and continue to train and compete with the Extreme Couture guys, and stay